How are we back to animals fighting? Every goddamn episode.
No, these are actually people fighting.
Yeah, she was in 5th grade. We were in 4th grade. She was basically the hottest girl I ever. Mrs. Terwilliger, you're fired. I'm the principal now.
Welcome back to A Couple of Fellas.
Hello, buddy.
It's the fellas.
We're back.
Unfortunately, we were not able to get Joseph Biden on, but we're hoping we can have him on next week or sometime soon, near future. He's expressed a great interest in being on the show, so I think we'll get it lined up soon enough. It's just, executive orders, first to 70 days or whatever. He's got shit to do. So
yeah, he's been doing a lot of shit.
It's busy right now.
We won't get into it right now.
We'll get it in.
But yeah, I know that the fans have been begging for us to have him on. They were so excited. They were blowing up my DMs with questions for me to ask him. Some good, some bad. So I think we're really going to put it through the gamut. But Joe, I hope you're ready for it next week. It's going to be an exciting time.
Any questions that you want to feature or shout out?
No, I don't want to give him any intel. He needs to walk into this interview fucking cold, bro.
They get briefed before the... Oh, of course they get briefed before the debates. They get briefed, their teams go over it and approve the questions. There's all sorts of...
Right.
He knows. I was wondering just offhand for a second if that one was, a true snapshot of how they would respond to those questions. But no, of course, it's all prepped.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, that's why I can't let any of these little cats out of the bag, because
any of these little
Joe's
cats.
got some questions to answer. The American people, they got a few questions for him.
Lil cats. Speaking of which, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, that double combo on the Switch.
Hell yeah.
Fun game so far, but wow, they really do love their cats, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Seems to be the running theme. Cat bells.
Yeah, the whole thing's cats. Bowser's a cat. Like, everything.
The fish is a cat.
Yep, the Goomba's a cat. Everything.
The plants were cats.
They picked that and they ran with it.
Interesting flavor. Cat flavor. But anyway. And speaking of worlds, I guess 3D World is relevant enough.
Sure.
You remember that
was a real Paul Blart.
I get... Nice. How many levels deep are we going to end up getting with this? It's going to be like 6 meta references to our own episodes, 15 episodes deep.
That may be our most recurring reference.
That one, yeah, that's long running.
Paul Blart on a Segway. I think that's like our most recurring joke.
That or Anyway I Started Blasting.
No way. Paul Blart on a Segway, I feel like it's got to beat it.
Maybe 2-1, yeah. All right. Anyway. Segwaying away from that.
Circle jerk over.
Do you think circle jerk would count as a demonetization if it was in the first minute? Or is that fine? Like, is it innuendos that's bad or just swears?
I feel like it'd be better. You'd just be better off bleeping it.
All right. Well, luckily for us, it's like 3 minutes in and we're not for kiddos.
Yeah, exactly.
So, remember that massive, expansive fantasy novel series that I've told you about several times?
Yes.
One of the things that I think I've stressed that makes it so freaking gripping and interesting is how thoroughly built the worlds and the magic systems in particular are. And how unique they are. Like, if you'll remember in the one series, it's all based around metal. So if you are born with any of these metal-born powers, one of the 8 different metals you would be able to ingest and then burn off like a reserve of it that you can kind of sense inside yourself, and they let you do different things.
Okay.
So if you're born with whatever, I forget what they call it, the ability to ingest and burn iron, you can pull metal toward you.
Okay.
Like toward the center of your chest or whatever. So
right.
When you're burning iron, you can see these little faint lines of blue to any sources of metal around you, and you can pull it. And it's basically just like rules of mass and inertia. Okay. If it's smaller than you, it flies toward you. If you're smaller than it, you fly toward it.
Yeah, it's very in-depth.
And if it's steel, you can push things, so just the opposite of that.
Okay.
And so on. And it's all built around that. So it's really cool because with those, where there's like a physical effect to it, all of the combat or movement around the world kind of is influenced by that. So you can push off of coins that you drop and go in big bounding arcs and like kind of fly atop the city. which is just like an interesting side effect way that you could use this power.
Right.
So anyway, that kind of that all is really intriguing in terms of like the side ways that powers could be implemented aside from their primary thing.
Okay.
Which brings me towards what I want to start questioning you about.
Here we go.
There's a couple.
Keeping all of those details in mind.
No, that's just context and setting the stage. Right. You don't need to remember it or reference it.
Okay.
Those were examples mostly.
Gotcha.
I want to talk about some of the alternate ways that you could use these powers. And I don't know if we want to do this in the sense of a movie or a story that we know, or if we want to create our own, like pick a superhero and just dive into other ways they could use their powers, or if you want to build your own ideal set. I haven't planned the conversation that far. I want this to unfold, but which of those options sort of sounds the most fun? You want to build your own world? You want to pick a superhero we know, pick powers for yourself? Like, what would be convenient?
What would be convenient?
I mean, that was just kind of a slip of the tongue, but I was, I guess, imagining being able to fly to the grocery store instead of go and scrape my car out with ice.
Right. What could you do if you were super fast? I'm trying to think. Because, like, what's some stuff? I mean, like, if you look at the Flash, for example, he can go so fast that he vibrates his molecules through matter.
That one's kind of a questionable one.
Yeah.
But, but sure, if you want to take things that far, you could do some crazy shit. He could go anywhere. But if you were super fast, I'd be eating out a lot more, I guess.
You think so?
Because I could just pick up. There would be no delivery fees.
That's very true. I would never pay another delivery fee in my life.
Seriously.
If I was Dash from The Incredibles, Uber wouldn't even have my number, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. That's one. What else? Like, if you could fly, would you offer a sightseeing business to wealthy people? It'd be a sweet side gig.
They're definitely signing a couple waivers first, but yeah.
Get a
probably.
Nifty harness.
Yeah.
Or if you could fly, would you sign on with the government?
Would I ever hike again when I can simply fly to the top?
Would you go flying alongside while I hike?
Yeah.
You're just hovering next to me.
Would I lose all interest in hiking, or would I enjoy the challenge of walking when I know I can float over every obstacle?
And then there's some powers, so to speak, where it would just not work like that. I'm thinking now of X-Men, the original trilogy of movies.
Okay.
You remember the chick that just had like porcupine spines poking out of all over her skin?
Yeah, yep.
I can't really think of like a life hack to use that.
Could she not control them specifically, or they just
you're right. She could like push them in or out. You're right.
Yeah. You could think of
okay, then sure. Yeah. Hole puncher.
Yeah, exactly. Or like shotgun, like hole poker.
Oh yeah,
easy.
You could just punch the top of beers open.
Yeah, toothpick.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah.
The advanced level of where I'd like to go with this is to see if we could imagine our own magic system, and then I think an easy way to do it would just be to pick one like single concept, and then we'll spitball from there.
Single concept?
Pick a word, and we'll build a magic system around it.
The first word that came to my mind was giraffe. Isn't that so LOL epic random, dog?
Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Well, backed in a corner, here we go. We'll run with it.
Are we? Okay, we're running with the giraffes.
All right, so there's a giraffe-based magic system. I don't even know what this looks like.
In this case,
I'm
we could say
imagining
that
people are just stretching their necks, and also they have tongues.
And weird little alien horns.
Yep, I also was thinking of that, but it seemed even less useful. But I guess in this case, that's exactly what we're talking about. You could hang your keys off that horn.
Yeah, what if like giraffes are gods that bestow stretching abilities among their followers?
This is better.
Yeah.
This is good. Now, can these stretching abilities only work on the neck and the tongue, the primary stretchable characteristics of the giraffe, or could their followers, their
Your
devotees...
arms and legs can also turn into giraffe arms and legs.
Wait. Do they turn into giraffe arms and legs, or is it the ability to stretch? I like the idea that these benevolent giraffe gods gift the ability to stretch to their followers. And you know what? Here, we can keep both. They're priests, the ones, I'm assuming followers are human here, because we're the ones that build religions, not other animals. Although in this case, the giraffes are gods. Their priests will turn into giraffes. They get giraffe limbs. Followers just get the ability to stretch. And I think that very devoted followers, or those higher up in the church, like how Scientology has ranks, should be able to have more stretching powers.
Wow.
So like the first one you unlock is just your tongue.
Yeah.
Then when you're like not just a neophyte, you're an acolyte, you can stretch your neck and your tongue.
Yeah. And then like when you're a high priest, you can fully turn your like
You're
arm
basically Mr.
into...
Incredible, but without the no bones part. It's like still straight.
You can still stretch out your fist, your arm, but your fist can be a giraffe hoof, so it's even harder. Yeah.
These are combat priests.
Yeah, and maybe your wrist is also giraffe, because your wrist would definitely shatter under that force. But
You have hoof and wrist of giraffe.
And giraffe wrist.
The power of giraffe wrist.
Yeah.
What was it, Wonder Twins? What was it, where one could turn into like any animal and one could turn into water?
Any form of water. And they got real creative with that, because, you know, he did sometimes like a bucket of water. That's funny. Maybe like ice. I don't know. Or, you know, an ice monster. They stretched
one
that
of the
premise.
natural forms of water.
Yeah, exactly. Once they went ice monster, that's when they really jumped the shark.
That's the term. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, speaking of jumping the shark, let's get back to our own bullshit.
Sure.
I like this. We have priests, we have a hierarchy within the religion, and a lot of giraffe powers.
Right.
I think it makes sense to set this on Earth, because so far the only characters involved are giraffes and humans.
Well, we need to know the differences between the gods. Like, why would you follow one over another?
And also, what is the conflict? Is there a whole pantheon of African Serengeti animal gods, and all of their followers have differentiated abilities based on the animals that they follow?
Correct.
See, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
I told you this would work.
Wow.
Okay, so primary conflict,
Unbeliever.
my immediate thought is lion. Lion gods and their lion followers with claws and teeth.
Okay, yeah. If we're moving to like keep the giraffe involved but not to be so central, we could
It's
say
our
that
protagonists.
we can say okay.
That's why
Okay.
that's the central theme.
Yeah. They're these like lanky ass, goofy ass herbivores, but our protagonist makes it work through short grit and scrappiness.
Yeah. Do you think he's
And pluck.
how standard to the hero's journey are we getting? Is he like not very adept with his giraffe powers?
Well, let's stick to the world for now.
Okay, you're right. World building.
We don't
world
need to
building.
get into narrative.
Next
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, next episode we'll start going through. Well, I think that we should. We can talk about that later, but we'll stick to the world right now and the magic system.
Okay.
So the other things are other animals.
I like that.
And I like what you said, keep it to Serengeti. Like, we don't need to throw like gorillas in here and like.
Yeah, that'd be breaching. That
You
could
know
be
what I
like
mean?
a later season.
I like to stay. Yeah, exactly. Once they like
conquer the
conquer
primary
the
conflict
Serengeti,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and then like the Saiyans come down and that's the gorillas.
you know, let me throw this out there. I think that we should give-
How are we back to animals fighting? Every goddamn episode.
No, these are actually people fighting. I don't know that there are
fucking close enough.
I don't know that there are any animals. I'm imagining them all in the sky, like in The Lion King, where you see it in the Starry Night,
Right,
like
right.
literal god animals. It's just people with these animal traits in conflict and living on the Serengeti.
Oh.
And what I was going to say, I think we should give ourselves a little bit more freedom, place this in like an entirely unique world where, so far as we know, call it a different planet, same species and all, but different evolutionary history. And the geography, one big ass Pangea-like continent, so far as we know.
Right.
And everything that is known to all of our people and the tribes around us is just Serengeti.
Right.
And that's where it is right now.
Okay.
So right now, it's much bigger as far as we think than like the African Serengeti on our continent.
Oh, there's a wildebeest god.
Yeah, dude.
an elephant god, a
Hippopota
rhinoceros god. Dude,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
There's
of
at
them.
least like a core dozen, and then
This
the
is a
same
good
way that
MMORPG also.
kind of the same way that the Greek pantheon had lesser deities and half gods and stuff.
Right.
The smaller and less popularized in marketing and media animals are filling in the ranks of the hierarchy.
And yeah, I'm thinking
So like the herons maybe on the plains don't have their own deity, but they're helpers to the hippopotamus or whatever.
Oh, dude, hyenas would definitely be the Hades of this pantheon.
Probable.
Yeah. Right. Just a bunch of scrappy things. I'm trying to think what. Oh, so I'm trying to think that like different gods would also have different relationships with each other. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking like
For sure. I'm imagining almost like the Disney Hercules, where most of the
Yes.
gods get along fine and are mostly neutral.
but there's still like gossip and drama between them.
And then there's some planning and backstabbing
yeah,
going on,
Right.
probably by the hyena gods, maybe by an evil lion god. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't want to just rip off Lion King, but I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
not
the
ripping off
giraffe being
Lion
our
King.
protagonist gives us some individuality, I think.
Yeah. It's goofy. It's not who you'd expect.
So, let's iron out like maybe 3 or 4 other of the primary players in this, so we
Mhm.
know the other individuals that our tribe interacts with. And I also want to
Interacts with how?
in whatever way, like if lion is going to be the primary conflict, I'm the same way that we have stretching powers for our guys, I'm assuming it's claws and fangs for the lion pride, right?
Mm.
Like those are the abilities that the devotees in that religion get.
And like night vision, kind of like they can like see.
Sure,
better
in the
at
higher
night.
levels, and the priests become lions.
Yeah.
So
they
that-
can like
those
they
are
can
the
go
only
like full like lion
the only
claws.
actual animals that are fighting are priests. They're humans that have become basically 100% animal.
Yeah, the much higher ups.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Except that there's also the combat bishops that are humans with all the powers.
Yeah. They're like
They can get
they're like
lion claw
chimeras, kind
and
of.
wrist of lion.
right. Yeah, but nothing more, and perhaps fang, a single fang. But I feel like when I say that like the hyena is the Hades of this world, I think of it like Game of Thrones, where they're kind of the White Walkers.
Like a neutral dread force.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of like is just kind of psychopathic in the way that like it is there for destruction until it can get beat back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the hyena devotees are really
Again, I think Lion King is kind of influencing me a lot in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also, they kind of chose the best protagonist and antagonist of the setting we chose. So that's part of the issue.
Right.
Hmm.
I think of I don't know why I'm so in this as like a Game of Thrones style political system, but like I'm thinking the rhinos, they're gonna be like pretty neutral towards us.
Yeah.
Like we don't mess with them and they don't mess with us, and like
There's a respect.
but there's a respect there for sure. And maybe even if something really fucked up was to happen to them, we'd be like, all right, we gotta like help them out.
We'd come to their aid. Yeah, and they're neighboring to us, I would say.
Exactly.
We eat high up shit and they eat low down shit, so it's cool. We don't really
Yeah.
interfere like that.
We both fear the same creatures, so
Yeah.
we'll stick together.
Let's pick an equivalent type time period. I'm imagining huts at the most advanced technologically.
No, I'm thinking more than that. I was thinking
How deep
like,
into civilization? Cottages? Like rural medieval time?
No. I'm thinking like Roman time.
Oh, very interesting. Oh, this gives me a whole new system of like infrastructure and government to set this between.
Yeah, or maybe like
This is unique.
maybe ancient
like.
Greek, not Roman. I'm thinking more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still. Okay.
Like still great
Whole cities,
buildings.
monuments.
Yeah, exactly.
Very anthropomorph.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Anamorph
Yeah.
monuments. Anamorphs could be the religious texts.
Yeah, going forward, we will be drawing a lot of inspiration from Animorphs.
Okay, fair enough. So is there a long history of warfare? Where are we now? Like, we have a pretty good setting, I think. We see what's going on. Now we need a conflict. We need the antagonist of this story. It's time to build some narrative if this is the world. Wait. We're off topic.
Magic system.
And just the ways that it would work. Now that we have the setting, we can come back to this story if we want to keep telling the story.
Okay.
But, yeah. Now
Like now you're saying where are they drawing the power from?
Sure, yeah. We can dig into that more, or we can go back to the original part of how could we use these powers. So now we're living in effectively a Greek society.
Wow.
Let's just pause our storytelling a bit and inhabit this world we've created for a moment. Now, as someone with these stretching giraffe powers, or hoof and wrist of giraffe,
Giraffe specifically?
or pop into any of these other religions we've created.
Being
sure.
able to roar like a lion would be a pretty crazy party trick.
That would be pretty swell, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Right.
Sweet voiceover opportunities.
You can make a living off of that. Easy.
Probably.
Easy.
I mean, but back in Grecian times, just what? In the streets roaring?
Oh, back then? Okay.
Well, that's the time that we built. That's where we are, right?
Okay. Okay. I thought we were pulling way out of there. Okay. So back then.
I mean, maybe in future installments of this novel graphic universe we're making, it could be in the future,
dude,
or present time, future to them.
Followers of the Lion's temple, I suppose. I feel like once they get high enough up, a real sign of their power is the fact that they can grow a full lion's mane.
Yes, I was thinking that. And how regal would that be? That would be such a sign of literal like royalty within that religious sect.
Yeah, nobility has smaller manes.
That would be
royalty has very full, luscious manes.
That would be crazy. That would be such a statement.
And they keep their lion eyes at all times.
Oh shit!
Or when they get mad, the lion eyes come out.
Oh yeah, this is sick. I kind of want to see this adapted.
And their teeth
Can we contact someone to
bit.
write a screenplay? Should we work on a screenplay? That sounds like so much work.
We gotta listen to some George R.R. Martin stuff about world building.
Yeah, and Brandon Sanderson, author of this Cosmere series.
Yeah.
Honestly, check out the Cosmere, Cosmere. Any of the stuff in that is great, but just start with Mistborn if you want to do a fantasy novel and check out. Hush, Freya, it's okay. But, okay, let me take a crack at it, and I'll go with the Giraffe-rafts we built. Man, if I could stretch, oh, dude, I could open my mini fridge from here and grab a fresh drink. I wouldn't have to get up. I wouldn't have to interrupt our podcasting.
But this is back in ancient Greece.
Oh, you're right. I immediately lost track of that. Freya distracted
thought
me.
about the fridge.
Freya distracted me.
Oh, good.
Oh, man, I wish I had these powers nowadays now. Okay, well, it is much harder to be relatable and think of conveniences in my... You're right. We should talk about these powers in the hypothetical now.
Okay.
I was wrong. And I can admit that.
That's fine.
So, yeah, I would reach my hand out and grab a fresh drink.
Oh, dude, if you followed the Rhino God, you'd definitely be like a leg up in like the NFL or something. Just
oh my
truck
god.
through
Charging
people.
through people. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm trying to imagine how that would embody itself, just big boned.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a whole fucking like horn comes out of the front of your face and like you just head down and go.
I could see that causing some issues in the NFL, but yeah, sports would be really interesting.
Or maybe you can just like harden yourself to like a rhinoceros's hardness and you gather his strength. It is a blessing from the rhinoceros god after all.
You're a paladin of the rhinoceros.
Exactly. God. You channel him in you. This is magic after all. This isn't a mutation of some sort.
You're right. Okay, yeah, that would be sick. Sports would be really interesting with this array of animal powers.
Right.
Obviously, I think Cheetah would dominate in track and field.
Yeah, probably.
Along with things like gorilla. I feel like a gorilla would shot put very well if you could train him to do it.
Now, are we keeping this to Sahara again, or are we?
You're right. I'm starting to bleed out.
No,
into
it's
other
fine.
animals.
It's fine. I hate to squash your creativity. It is precious.
I never read the Animorphs books.
Me neither. Just saw the covers and thought they were cool as fuck.
A bunch of the covers. Yeah,
those are some sick covers.
My
Never
elementary school
open.
library was stocked with them.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Same.
My elementary school library had a program called Accelerated Reader, where every book in this library, and it was a pretty big library for an elementary school, was labeled with a sticker on the outside with how many points it was worth. And if you read the book, every classroom had 2 computer stations in it. And on the computer was the Accelerated Reader program. You could find the book that you read and take a little quiz. And based on the length of the book and how many points it was worth was how many questions were there. And then if you got whatever 80% or higher, you got that many points
Nice.
into your account, like your student account. And then there was like a Chuck E. Cheese-esque gift shop in the library that you could redeem these points.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. Dude, I transferred to this school with 5 weeks left in second grade, and I racked up enough points to be principal for the day by the end of the school year.
Principal.
One of 3
what
kids.
What does that mean?
We like shadowed the
what
principal.
What power did they give you?
And we got to go to lunch with the principal at Ruby Tuesdays, and I asked for a second meal, and he said no.
Mrs. Terwilliger, you're fired. I am the principal now.
But it was awesome because there was all sorts of like little pencils and erasers and shit and goofy little things that you love as an ADHD second grader.
Right.
But then also, yeah, like I got a free Ruby Tuesday meal out of it.
That's pretty dope.
I loved it. They gamified reading, and that shit worked for me.
Oh, yeah. I definitely had teachers that like gamified different things in general in class. I don't remember what any of them were, honestly, but they always had like these like Burns bucks. Like Mr. Burns was my teacher, and like doing certain things that earned you Burns bucks, and then you could redeem them.
The bucks system I've heard of in a bunch of different settings in schools.
And so
like Monopoly money or whatever.
Yeah, and every teacher has like their own
gold
thing.
stars. And
yeah, and they're these like usually they're like these elaborate little things. Like my one teacher, they were all pencils that she would like cut out, and she would have her name and like the date on them or whatever. So that she knows that people aren't, I don't know,
forging them
in some way. Yeah, exactly. But I remember some of the prizes were like pretty whack because in third grade
set.
In third grade we did it, and one of the prizes was like to have lunch with the teacher. Like you and a friend could have lunch with the teacher, or another one was to have breakfast with the teacher. And I was like, that's fucking weird. Why would you do that instead of going to the cafeteria with your friends? Why would you stay here with one friend and the teacher as a reward for doing like extra? That sounds like a punishment. And then one of my friends did it, and he's like, hey, can you come to my lunch with the teacher? I'm spending my like points on it. And I was like, yeah, I guess, dude.
You
fine.
Fucking sell out.
Yeah, I was like, sure. Yeah, I guess I'm not just gonna leave you hanging. And so yeah, we had lunch and we were very polite, and it was like, and then the bell rang and everyone came back in, and then we went back to class. It was like so strange, but I guess it also depends on what teacher you have, because I think
what relationship you have with them.
Yeah, because I think I had another one that we like came in early and had breakfast with her, which is cooler also than just having breakfast at home.
Yeah,
but yeah, I remember we talked about Saved by the Bell with her because she was like pretty young, and so like she watched it and we watched.
She was
reruns.
Also in elementary school.
Yeah, yeah, she was in 5th grade. We were in 4th grade. She was basically the hottest girl ever.
I like your child voice.
Nice. It's whatever.
Okay, so back to this world we built.
Mm.
How would these powers be reflected in the world? Like, I'm imagining now if a significant portion of the population, like, are most people religious? Do most people have these animal powers?
They're pretty undeniable.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But do most people subscribe enough that they get to the basic level? Like, tongue and neck stretching, is that 70 and 50% of the population in this giraffe community?
This reminds me of Avatar now.
Last Airbender?
Yeah, where there's like in that there would be essentially 4 gods, but it's just like the tribes or whatever, or like
I guess I can see parallels there, and the way some people are gifted with powers and some are not.
Right. But I think
like
that we're
system,
saying more than like just like innately born with it or not. This is more like
a pursuit of it.
Yeah, like
it's a level of devotedness.
Exactly.
I like that because it's accessible to anyone. There's probably innate talent in it, I would assume, just like with anything. There's a spectrum of ability, and some people are more inclined to it than others, but primarily your ability to like unlock these gifts basically is based on the devotion to them, and that takes the form of whatever each pantheon god deems it to be. Like for the lion, that might mean making meat sacrifices,
and maybe in some cases it's about like the upper echelons of that specific church like allowing you into like whatever secrets it is or something. Like maybe some gods trust the people below them to present them worthy followers to receive more powers, whereas other gods are more like hands-on with
discern
like all
it
of their
themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That would definitely vary
Yeah.
based on, I guess, the personality of the animals.
So if you just want to like grind for power, maybe you go like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could
Rhino
defect to a
class.
different community
Yeah,
and
you could follow a
pursue
new god.
pursue a god that's more in tune with your values.
Yeah,
Now that brings up an interesting question.
that's cool.
If people had or have some access to abilities and they transfer churches, what happens? Do they lose access to all of their previous? Is there carryover? Is it tainted like that? Or is it generally you would lose it? And here is where is our antagonist. There's somebody fucking with the magic and accruing multiple animal abilities.
Dude. So what I was thinking is that our protagonist has to, like, all these gods, there's like gossip and drama and friendships and enemies and everything among them.
Yeah.
So a god at any time can choose to give or take away your powers that they have granted you, literally at any time.
So in times of trouble, maybe a champion could be bestowed with great gifts that he hasn't
A champion who can unite all of them through whatever turmoil they're currently in can receive all of their blessings simultaneously.
all of the animals' blessings.
Yeah, exactly. To fight whatever
At
this
the
like,
highest level.
Yeah,
Without even having gone
when
through
the
the devotion
hyenas have
path.
become overwhelming.
Ooh.
And they're all arguing about how to solve it, like how like everyone's
Ooh,
like in
or-
it for themselves, trying to like screw each other over.
I like that. I like that idea. I like that. Even as an ultimate thing, but a penultimate could even be figuring out that we can do that with a single god. Like going from to just arbitrarily assign numbers. If level 1 is tongue stretching, level 2 is neck stretching, etc. Going from like a level 5 whatever to you have the full capability of one of the high priests because boom, in an instant the god decides you need it.
Right.
And then maybe later in the line we get the all of it or multiple and then all. That gives us,
Right.
series, like the way Dragon Ball plateaus
Yeah,
and
different
rises.
different arcs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's an idea. Despite all of the turmoil between and among the animal religious sects,
Yeah.
I think,
Secretus.
what about a primary threat not being hyenas, or maybe in a short-term thing or small arc it could be, but being something completely else, something not even an animal god, something from the outside. So there is tension between the hyenas and the lions and the giraffes and whatever, but there's something from outside, something totally alien.
An enemy or like a force?
Either.
So like
something that's
encroaching.
A great
cold.
That's Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, true. Or it could be like a great virus or something like
that's COVID.
Like decay, like some sort of like
a rot on the world,
or like a swarm,
or some invading force that doesn't look like people or animals.
I'm thinking like a swarm of mosquitoes, or like what's the one from the Bible? Locusts.
Yeah, but in our anthropomorphic world, if it was a foreign invader, I would want it to be literally like on the par of aliens to our
humans.
World. Yeah, but these are humans.
Yeah, right. We are humans following the animals.
Humans from our timeline, modern humans, but like
humans that follow a human god. Atheists. What are these
Vegans.
strange atheists?
Nah, maybe it's better for this original arc to stay in the animal world.
Yeah.
That's a simpler idea to tackle.
Right.
Okay. So, let's look at some more of this world building bit.
Sure.
How does these powers get distributed among the population? I guess in different animal religions, maybe there would be different proportions of people who choose to adhere more strictly. So, like, I don't know, the hippopotamuses seem pretty chill. Maybe only like 15 or 20% of their population is actively devoted enough to have the gifts of the hippopotamus gods.
Right.
Whereas, I don't know, the lions are a little more uptight, so like 70% have at least the claws ability. I like that because then there's, just more differentiation, more variety.
And you can tell that someone like the hippos, if they give it out very rarely, like if they are desperate, you can tell when you start seeing more hippos around, more hippo people.
What do you mean if they are desperate?
Like, let's say like they're being invaded or something like that, or they're at war, tensions are high, and they're like, we need to up our defenses. Like, I know we like to be picky about who we give these abilities to, but like, we gotta like build up.
Time
like
to stop wallowing in the
yeah,
mud.
just inflation, just hippo people inflation.
Hippo people inflation. It's a good thing CGI's gotten so good because hippo people is something I need to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so looking at our Grecian society, I bet the giraffes are a nice little democracy too. The way that they run their kingdom.
Yeah.
That's a simple home concept. I'm familiar with that. I can speak from it the best. So let's go with that. Okay, that works. Now, I don't know, maybe 50, 60% have some stretching ability. So maybe half the people can at least stretch their necks. I'm trying to imagine how this would play out over like the architecture and design of the world. Doorways would all be a little taller than what we're used to because so many people can stretch their heads. Like,
well, it doesn't have to be stretched.
It doesn't have to be, but so many people would and would be able to, and there, I guess, would be reason to sometimes. I think standard door and door height is like 12 feet ceiling height.
Maybe they just never got around to building ceilings. They're like, screw it, not worth it.
It's all one floor
to build that high
because they would have to go like twice as many stairs.
Right.
So it's all one floor buildings. Help me. How else would the stretchability of these people, lengthy legs and shit, help me design a sport around it?
Ooh. So, well, I'm trying to think, like, how would they fight like giraffes where they're like swinging their necks at each other? Is that how you would like?
Not as a human with stretching powers, no. I would imagine more like you're shooting out limbs at people.
Okay.
Which sounds hysterical.
Yeah.
I think that their combat, or at least their sport combat, should be like on a raised platform and they're trying to knock each other off with these extendo limbs.
I'm trying to think though, like, let's say there's two people who have the ability to fully turn into a giraffe and they're like trying to decide who is
High
top
priest,
giraffe.
you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but they're trying to figure out like, but there's only one true leader of them. How do they decide? Is it the two of them as full giraffes fighting as giraffes?
Now it is animal combat, but yeah, I think that is how it would have to go.
Yeah. Or are the giraffes more peaceful than that? Do they have like a parliament, like kind of like a ring of elders?
A parliament of giraffes.
If this is like a more if this is one of the more peaceful societies, like I could see maybe the lions settling things like that.
Yeah, you're right. The lions would be combat, but the giraffes would be probably.
They have a council of elders, I think, the giraffes.
But they're all giraffes, and they go up high in like a 20-foot ceiling
where
room,
no one can hear them.
Exactly, and they whisper to each other. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's one way that these powers would manifest themselves outside of the obvious. You would be able to have conferences with your buddies who are also in the crowd of having the giraffe neck ability.
Exactly.
Especially full giraffe, because then you got the leg and neck. You're up way high.
Yeah. Right.
No one's listening in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know that there's no film yet in our Grecian society, so there wouldn't be porn, but with the entry-level ability being the 11-inch tongue,
yeah,
that's going to be a factor in people's lives.
Dude, would that be a big problem? Is like cross-god marriage?
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean?
This
like,
just got so
what
messy.
If I'm a giraffe boy and I fall in love with a lion girl?
No, because it's all based on devotion. So your kid would just be a kid.
Right. But I'm saying, like, socially in this world, is that generally frowned upon?
Probably.
Right?
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm imagining not gated communities. So if you live next door to and I'm sure there's like communities of immigrants, of maybe people who adhere to other religions in each of these
Some
cities.
are more tolerant than others.
Yeah.
It
would be, I guess, similar to maybe racial ethnicity breakups of cities in our world.
Like maybe like elephant and giraffe people, like, yeah, I wouldn't mind if my giraffe son married an elephant woman. You know, it's like they'll figure it out. They'll pick a god.
They're always even-tempered.
I'll still love him anyway, even if he like goes over there. It's still my son. Like if that's more the giraffe and elephant people's like feelings.
That works, and then you could convert.
Whereas like if you
do
not want to disappoint your lion father, like
if
you
like
don't marry a lion, you are dead to me.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe some other big cats like cheetahs. at
Yeah,
the worst.
actually, yeah. There may be alliance between the lion and cheetah factions.
But it'd be like kind of a
like
scandal.
they would marry their children as like princes and princesses to unite nations.
Political alliances.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm imagining I'm picturing the giraffes to have effectively a low tier Greek city with like clusters of buildings and big buildings too. I'm imagining the lions are a little more tribal in their living, like deliberately minimalist, more like tanned hide huts and longhouses and stuff.
Okay.
By choice.
Like yeah.
A more Spartan lifestyle.
Right.
If we're using the Greek times as our anchor.
A more Dothraki lifestyle.
Yeah. Honestly, that's actually what I'm picking. Yeah, basically.
Right.
The Dothraki priests would be now lion priests in this world.
Hell yeah.
Great Game of Thrones tie. Sorry, R.R. Martin.
No, I mean, no, it's different enough. But yeah.
I don't think I've heard any stories very similar to this. This feels like we've created something pretty uniquely original.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
it's also a clusterfuck still, and
like
there's a lot
said,
to iron out.
A lot of parts remind me of a lot of other things, and I'm sure even...
But a lot of other things have parts that remind me of other things.
Exactly.
So
nothing's ever truly original. But yeah, this is original enough for me.
Meh, good enough.
No, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Well, we're doing great at it, I would say.
Yeah.
Jumped right in.
We got to learn how to like write comic books or something.
Any interest in being an illustrator? Because I can't. Yeah, anime
no,
would
I
be
can't
fun.
draw for shit, dude. I wish I used to love drawing as a kid, but
never my thing.
Really?
Never.
Dude, I was thinking about this on the way over here actually. Like in elementary school and even middle and high school, I don't know. Did you have art class?
I quit art in like second grade and pretty much never
Quit?
again. Yeah. I remember like doing all the stuff, and then at some point in second grade I was like, I do not want to do this anymore. I'm tired of this. And I just kind of didn't do it. And the teacher, bless her heart, I feel so bad now having been, an educator in some degree.
Right.
I just didn't do it. I was like, I'm done with this. And I didn't cause problems. I wasn't like a distraction in the class. I wasn't misbehaving. I just like kind of sat there and didn't do any more art for the rest.
Wow.
And I didn't take any elective art afterward. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I loved art class.
It was, yeah, I just stopped. And I don't think I took another art class again until maybe like an elective somewhere in college, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I think we had to take it every year of elementary school, and then I definitely took it 1 year in middle school, and then I don't think I ever did in high school.
I started doing an instrument. I did the recorder instead, I think, in third and fourth grade or whatever, and then cello in fifth, and then saxophone in middle school. And I just never did art again.
We had art class and music class like every year in elementary school.
I feel like it might have been an option, but yeah, I just quit the art part.
Wow.
And
did you ever make pottery?
Yeah, up until second grade, so it's all shit.
Oh, dude, my school didn't have pottery until middle school.
Yeah, I remember in elementary school because I have a shitty clay dragon somewhere.
Oh, I have a couple shitty ass pots. Poorly crafted, poorly painted.
Molly has some nice pots that she made.
Really?
Some people can actually do pottery, it seems.
Made recently?
I don't think so. Maybe somewhat recently. Who knows?
Okay.
I guess maybe she does, but I don't know.
I thought you were looking at her and she was giving you cues, but nothing.
Looking at who? Freya? What?
Yeah, exactly. I thought she was giving you cues on...
Hey, girl. If only there was a dog pantheon, I would do golden retriever doggo god. Oh, it would be so good. You'd be so soft.
What would be the most interesting biome for this, like, basic... Like, because here's the thing. We could do, like... this one, and then like in a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure-esque thing, totally
jump to a totally new story,
to a totally new biome with
the same magic system, same religious pantheon.
But then
rules.
we go to the rainforest.
Yes. The frozen
and then
tundra.
we do it in the Arctic,
and then we do an ocean one.
Yeah,
obligatory.
Oh man, yeah.
I
freshwater
want
and
to be the
salt
king
water.
of the orcas.
Deep sea.
Oh my gosh, deep sea.
Yeah,
anglerfish and shit. Yeah. It's perfect. This is a franchisable, infinitely Disney rip-offable.
Oh, that's cool.
We did it. We have success in artistry.
Yes, dude.
First time since second grade.
Congratulations. Welcome back.
Oh, it feels good. What would be the most interesting, though, was your question.
Yeah. What other biome? What would be like the next biome?
Rainforest would be crazy.
Rainforest would be crazy.
But also everything except for the ocean is... Nah, not everything is smaller, but a lot of things are just smaller. Like, that's where there's the most majesty in the scale of the animals, I would say. But the abilities thing, since it's all based on people changing, it doesn't really matter how the size of the animals, you know?
Oh, yeah. Wait,
so
yeah,
it works fine. Even if pufferfish was your god, like, the human would still puff up.
Yeah.
Although, are these, like, water-breathing people? I
I'm
think an
thinking,
interesting one would be marine. That'd be hard.
If it was like a Moana-esque setting.
Oh, just ocean adjacent?
Yeah, because it is people that are following.
Yeah, that
these
makes more
gods.
sense than Aquaman-style underwater communities.
Right, right.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I would do beachside.
In which case, like, also whatever are like beach animals, like people could also worship, or some
Crabs.
some who stay like right on the water.
You could
Or
have
maybe-
a big ass armored arm and then like a jabby sharp arm.
Yeah,
If you had the crab powers.
dude. At that point, you could also get like seagulls and pelicans.
You'd be able to fly.
Yeah,
That's what you're getting at.
yeah.
It'd be sick to be of the eagle clan.
Oh man,
Oh.
dude. Do we do one that totally like breaks time and do like a dinosaur era? A dinosaur arc? Like this, it's like cavemen though. Like this is like the more absolutely tribal people overall.
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, exactly. They all fall. Or yeah, we could do like an Ice Age one.
Ice Age would be a sick one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that I got. Yeah, I'm with that.
Oh,
Sabertooth,
woolly
mammoth,
mammoth, dude.
sloth.
Dodo bird.
I'm going right to the movie.
Squirrel.
Sabertooth squirrel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to cook on this.
I
one
like
some
this,
more.
but see, we did it in terms of creating a magic system that is a generic template that you can apply
off
to
of giraffe.
yeah, and it started with giraffe.
How about
Granted,
that?
it didn't stay locked into giraffe, but that was the
That's
anchor.
fine. That's fine.
I'm happy with what we did.
Yeah.
I'm still curious maybe how this would reflect in the world, but now I guess
What do you mean by in the world?
like how would these people's
like obscure
society
uses?
developing alongside these powers
right,
shape the way
right.
that government or business or architecture or sport, like I'm curious how this would echo into the world, but I don't even know where to start with that. Like, do we stick with the same biome probably where we've been imagining most of this?
Yeah. Let's try to
Giraffe,
stick
yeah.
there. Or we could like
Our core
the cubby
giraffe.
holes for secrets, good stuff.
The cubby hole for secrets?
Yeah, like when the elder council is all talking.
Oh yeah, up top.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I like it as a cubby hole, like
I'm thinking
like a little trap door closes with a hole in it for their
yes,
neck.
for each neck, exactly. Yeah.
That's hysterical, and
yeah,
I love
that's
it.
what I'm thinking.
A room shaped like a spaghetti box. It's
Uh,
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like that's a perfect option.
Okay.
Yeah, in the temples or churches or whatever it would be for the
Mhm.
giraffes at least, there would be all sorts of religious items, like their sacraments or their scrolls or whatever would be at the end of really long cubbies, because then people who don't have the ability to stretch their arms wouldn't be able to get to them.
Right, like top secret stuff, you would have to
Yep.
pass through really long, narrow slits.
And then higher up on the wall also to do the legs, you could go stretch yourself upward and stretch your arm in. Like
right.
just a wall system of long, like 8-foot deep cubby holes
Yeah.
would be a security system.
Yeah,
Perfect.
definitely.
Like, see, there, building design. What are other goofy ways that this shit would manifest? I'm feeling like the cops should have some type of platform that just raise them up, because then they can stick their head way up and like survey the whole area.
Oh, right.
We already
right.
said everything's one-story buildings because that's just too many steps to climb.
Yeah, with that much neck.
And everything's pretty flat too. This is like the plains.
True.
So this is a low-lying city. How
Oh.
big is this city? Help anchor me. If we have a council, then we have politics, so it's at least thousands.
Right.
This core city, maybe like 10,000 with some outlying suburbs and stuff.
Are we thinking that like this whole mass of people, like this whole essentially world we're talking about, you said it's...
Oh, wait, it's a super massive version, just similar climate to the Serengeti. So we can scale this up. We can say that there's 500,000 people in the giraffe capital.
Oh, that many in just the giraffe.
Yeah, we can make this big.
Wow, okay.
We have millions in our populations to play with.
Right.
100%.
Okay. Like, because I was thinking it would be more like a Greek city, like an ancient Greek city. But we want to blow it up more, so it would be like ancient Greece.
That's more of like our
Like more...
timeline.
Yeah.
We placed it in like a technological era of the ancient Greece.
Right.
Not necessarily ancient Greece.
Okay. But like the land owned by the giraffe people.
Yeah, it could be real
like,
big.
Okay. I gotcha.
Because this is not Africa, the continent, or Earth necessarily. This is just like an equivalent biome, we're saying.
Right.
This is a unique world.
Yeah, and they're generally friendly with other herbivores.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just happens to be all the same plants, animals, and people.
Right, so like neighboring peoples would most likely be herbivores. You don't want to be like neighboring with a lion.
Well, it's also, remember, just that like the priests become animals. Otherwise, there aren't really animals, and it's in and out.
Oh, okay.
I guess the lower animals that don't have real pantheons divided to them could be hunted and eaten by people who are omnivores or carnivore animals who need sacrifices or whatever.
And as you get
Let's not get into the weeds with that.
Okay. I'm thinking also as you get farther from the like capital where like these like high priests are, generally that's where people believe less and less until you start getting closer
and
to
it's just animals and people.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people kind of live their life not giving a fuck about the gods. Whereas like other ones will like deliberately go to where these capitals are and like
live a life in service of them and get the powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Be close to them.
Right.
This is great. There's all sorts of opportunity for political subterfuge.
I'm excited to listen to this one back.
Yeah, this would be a fun one. And I like this because I think the animal system should have definitely different kinds of government and civilizations.
Yeah.
Like theocracies and monarchies and democracies.
Right. Tribes.
This would be real fun to start sketching out on like a storyboard or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, aside from secret cubbyholes for whispering in politics.
Right.
And horizontal secret cubbyholes for stashing things.
Right.
And also sexy time with 11-inch tongues.
Mm-hmm.
What else are the stretching powers of the giraffes going to get? Or the hoof powers and hoof punching? That's kind of higher up in the church, though. That's
right. I'm trying to think what they would do with trees. How are they going to make interesting use of trees?
Oh, you know
since
what?
They're really the only ones.
A
who can get
giraffe
up
hoof
there.
print is like the highest form of seal or signature, because only the highest priest can turn their hand and wrist into giraffe hand and wrist.
Yeah.
So to like seal a decree with a hoof print in ink, that's top shit.
Right. And everyone has like, and at the highest level, you will also like get your hoof branded with your own sigil.
Sure, yeah.
So people know it's yours.
Yeah. It's all keratin, so it wouldn't hurt.
Right.
Perfect. Yep. So people sign with their hoofs, but only those that are high enough up in the priesthood that they have the ability to do so.
Mm.
That's upper echelons. That's hidden power brokers, dude.
Yeah.
That's QAnon level.
I'm trying to think for some of the other animals.
Yeah, fuck it.
What
Let's
do
go
their
into some of
societies
those.
look like the elephant people.
I feel like there'd be lots of little like oases and open bathhouse areas.
Right.
Like in their city design, there'd be lots of like pools and fountains.
As a people, they'd be very familial.
Yeah. A very friendly community, small family systems. Rather than like a big hub city, it'd be more like big collections of suburbs mostly.
Yeah, and I think that people generally help each other out there.
Yeah, it's
You know
friendly.
what I mean?
Howdy, neighbor. Won't you be mine?
Right.
It's a Sesame Street-esque.
But yeah, also just known not to be messed with
They
because they have
definitely-
such great strength in numbers.
Yeah, and I bet that their government system is really good. I bet that they are wise and thoughtful and deliberate in the way that they implement policy.
I feel like they're very socialist.
Probably,
Like-
and it works well for them.
Mm-hmm.
And matriarchal.
Yeah, matriarchal,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I like that. It's a council of 3, but it's 2 females and 1 male.
Yeah.
Identifying.
Sure.
Ele-
Yeah, the elephants are the woke ones. The wokest.
That's good.
Yeah.
And we have a bit of a difference in how the lion city looks and works. A little more nomadic, maybe. Dothraki-esque.
Right. That could also be the leopard one instead, or also.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, or cheetah.
More in the trees, though, with their mobile
What's the difference
camps.
between a leopard and a cheetah? Is there one?
Yeah, cheetahs run fast and are also kind of scavenger, I think.
What are leopards?
Leopards do a lot of hunting. They're a little bigger and beefier.
Okay.
And jaguars are just rainforest leopards, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, pumas, jaguars, and leopards are like all the same or very similar.
Yeah.
There's overlap. There's some Venn diagram stuff going on there, but I'm not qualified to speak on it.
Yeah. If only we had a land biologist around.
Bummer. I hear those are in demand. Short supply.
I've never met one in my life.
Short squeeze. You have to squeeze your biologists.
Please. Get all that juicy animal knowledge out of them.
Get that biologist juice.
Biolojuice.
Nice, dude.
Not really. But so these lion people. Are we imagining them as villains?
No, I think it's just a more tribal, power-based society.
Not very trusting in general.
There were quote-unquote barbarian societies in 500 BC.
Right.
Up until a couple hundred AD, according to like contemporaries.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be like how Caesar called the Germanic tribes and the Gallic tribes barbarians.
Right.
Like that.
Okay.
Not necessarily barbarians, and certainly not trash people by their own account, but
yeah,
maybe looked down on as less civilized and democratized.
Right.
Or less woke.
Okay.
Because again, I don't know that the lions are going to be the real source of conflict. They're noble, at least.
Yeah.
There's definitely some values butting heads between like the giraffes, elephants, and so on, and the lions. But they stand by their treaties, and they're not causing shit. The hyenas, however, that shit reeks of subterfuge. That's the word of the day.
Hell yeah.
I think that maybe the hyena gods could be inciting their priests to stir up shit between other societies and maybe blaming some shit on the lions, and maybe they're making power plays to expand their base.
What I was thinking was that the hyena god just gives his powers to fucking anyone. And
that's why they're expanding?
Much. Yeah, and their powers aren't much, but like the fact that they're just getting them willy-nilly.
They're effective. It's a real strong bite. That creepy laugh, that's the first thing you get.
Yeah.
That real strong bite, and then they can kind of digest and eat anything, so that in a literal survival sense, they're effective.
Right.
So yeah, maybe that's the thing. He's just kind of like a lunatic rogue god, and he's giving these powers out wholesale.
Who has like spread doubt among all the people around that like the gods have forsaken them, and that they need to join him if they want to live, and so they do out of desperation.
So now there's just growing swarms of like hyena-based people giving in more and more to the gifts and becoming more and more just feral hyenas at the extreme.
Exactly. At his whim.
At the extreme, it just kind of, they become like feral hyenas.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. That makes it kind of
they fully surrender their control to him.
Yeah. This is good. So this is a growing problem. Is it? And he's not just like spreading out like a virus outward. This would be like maybe coordinated raids. Then it's like off the
coordinated
off
raids.
the edges of what we see and know.
But I would assume also taking prisoners who are like, swear loyalty to me, and I will not kill you or whatever. Like, do my bidding, and then he gives you hyena powers, and you go a little crazy, and then it's like, all right, fine, I'll do this. Otherwise, he's gonna kill me. And then just slowly over time, he wins you over.
Starts kind of taking over your mind.
Yeah, exactly. From there.
Okay, so I think we've got our antagonist lined up fairly well.
And antagonist. There
at least
multiple.
This initial story arc. I'm now seeing many arcs and many offshoots and a whole franchise growing out.
Well, that's what I'm saying, unless that's something that's on the horizon.
Could be.
Like
early
the White Walker situation.
You would want it woven into early indications. It seems like the big threat is the hyenas.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe there's more.
Right. but you can't deal with them until you deal with your stuff at home first.
Got to take care of the home front.
Yeah, exactly. And like get the other gods like, come on, guys, do you all want to die? And some of them like, I'd rather die than fight with you.
And some are in denial about it.
Yeah.
And some think it's not their problem. And some
Right.
think other people will take care of it. Yeah. There's the whole spectrum of reaction.
Well, you have to convince the literal gods.
Yeah. Oh, I like this.
You know what I mean?
Is this you, our protagonist, if we're going to come back to our
Yes.
actual story that we're telling now?
Yeah.
This, I'm assuming, fairly young, giraffe, cultured devotee
Mhm.
who's like maybe a reluctant hero. He's not very deep in it, but he's got the tongue power, and maybe he's just about to, where we pick up the story, he's about to get the next stretch.
Okay.
And that's all he's got so far.
Right.
I don't know how he's going to stumble into this, though. How is he going to be the one who realizes the hyenas are going to be this big threat and are becoming a problem, and that he's tasked with this quest? As of right now, he's kind of a nobody. He's just like plodding on through his coursework and training and whatever.
Okay, so he just got his neck powers, and
he's just about to. I'm imagining the way that like Naruto picks up and they're about to take the exam.
Right.
Or whatever at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So we begin our journey with our hero, and whatever form this next level that he passes takes, he's about to get that. How do we go from here to becoming the hero?
So I'm thinking that he saves somebody from like a rogue hyena, and he doesn't know what it is, but like he's just gotten his neck power, he's all psyched about it, and I don't know if he should save another giraffe person or maybe a higher up of another god's following from this hyena by just like stretching his neck out really far and just headbutting it, because that's like all he could do at the time, and he like kind of like hurts himself doing it, but like he's fine. And it's like, what the hell was that? And they're like, this was one of the hyena god's followers.
They've gone rogue.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And then this sets him off on his journey to like, we have to unite the gods, and there will be more exposition than that, but yeah,
I like that.
Essentially,
that's a usable path forward. I like it. Well done. I think we've laid some real solid foundation.
Right.
Good job. We built a magic system. We built a world kind of parallel. We drew from a lot of inspiration, but didn't rip any off directly.
Yeah.
I'm proud of our work.
Welcome what is this strange chimera beast that our protagonist will look like at the end?
Oh, when he unlocks all of the gods' ultimate
to their
powers.
fullest, yeah.
Shrek.
What a troll.
All right. Well, maybe you'll get to pick it up next time on the creative process of a couple of fellas.
Yeah, see y'all next time.
Or maybe it'll be Vice President Joseph Biden.
Oh, true. Yeah, he's coming on next week. We promise.
Tune in to find out.